everybody, it's Silver at EggFeathers Homestead. Today we are canning Mississippi pork roast. I apologize. Yesterday my internet just wasn't working quite right. I wasn't sure if I was going to. The night before I had put a video on to upload and it did not upload all night. I had to turn my internet off and use cellular data, so I just don't know what was going on. But here we are today. Sorry we missed today. Hopefully I'll catch it up at some point, but I think you'll find this is worth it. I'm sure you've heard of Mississippi beef pot roast. I'm doing this, I'm really looking forward to it, so I'm going to bring you along. I hope you enjoy, and see you. You are looking at about, about 10 to 12 pounds of chopped up pork shoulder. This is from our pigs that we had processed last spring. I am sprinkling this with some beautiful coarse salt. I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees, and I am going to roast this pork at 425 degrees for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to stir it up a little and give it another 15 minutes, and at the end of that I'm going to make some beautiful Mississippi pork roast. We love Mississippi roast in general. We normally do it with beef. I am trying it this way because it sounds amazing. And then here we have little Leafy. Leafy's my kitchen helper. Hi, Leafy. Hey. And so we're going to work on that. I'm also going to put some pepper on it. And let's see, I think for the salt it was about a tablespoon and a half. And then for the pepper I'll probably use like 2 teaspoons. And we're going to roast this up and we'll be canning it. It'll be delicious. It's really nice when you roast the meat ahead of time. The texture is very different, like a little bit firmer. So anyway, there you go. I'll see you in a bit. I have 20 cups of chicken broth here ready to put on my beef. I have my jars warming up in the oven. My pork is done and I am about to mix the spice blend, which I will show you. All credit goes to Ginny Goff at Ginny's Scratch Made Kitchen. That is where this recipe comes from, and I will make sure to link it in the description. So if you go to Ginny's website, she says to use ranch mix without the buttermilk powder, but when you actually watch the video, she does her own homemade ranch mix, and that's actually what I am going to do today. So I need, this is a tablespoon and a half measure, so I just won't quite fill it up. I need a tablespoon of parsley. I need a tablespoon of dill. I need 1.5 tablespoons of garlic and 1 tablespoon of my beautiful dehydrated chives from last year's garden, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and we like extra pepper, and then a tablespoon of, she said kosher salt. I have some of this fleur de sel that I've had around for years, so I'm just going to use that. I know it's a finishing salt, but whatever. Today it's what I'm using. And then I'm just going to mix these all together, and this is what's going to go in my jars. I have my meat roasted, and this is actually like the last step is getting this beautiful spice blend mixed up. It smells absolutely wonderful. So now I've got that. Just really straightforward, simple, easy. That's good because the packaged stuff tastes delicious, but it's definitely at a cost. But yeah, look at that. So now I'm going to get everything lined up and we'll fill up these jars. All right, first up, I am going to fill these jars, I'm guessing about halfway with this beautiful pork. I definitely want to be generous. To me, it's supremely annoying to open a jar of meat and find that there's not enough meat in there. So, oh, Chris, could you get me a chopstick, please? I forgot that. Forgot my most favorite debubbler tool. So I'm actually filling them up a little bit more than the recipe recommends. I'm totally okay with that. I'm not going to worry about that a bit. So I have it filled up about 3/4 of the way. Having protein in a jar like this makes dinner time so much easier. I like to make meals from scratch whenever I can, but there are just times that something happens and all of a sudden we have to shift gears in a big way And that's when these meals come the most in handy. How's your day been, Eden?
Meh.
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 What'd you learn in math today?
I learned additional decimals.
I just learned that somebody put an open container of popcorn on our stacked oven. That's what I just learned. Could you please work on cleaning that up?
Alright.
Alright, so I'm back here with my second pan of meat. I cannot tell you how good this smells. And I just roasted this with salt and pepper like I had showed you. I ended up doing it for 40 minutes because it was such a large amount. Typically wouldn't put so much together on the pans, but honestly I didn't want to have to run this meat through two separate batches. So that's why I did it the way I did. And it's looking like I'm going to be able to cram all this into my 7 jars. They're just going to be like super generously full of meat, which, like I had already said, is no problem here. Oops, there we go. This was some of the shoulder. We still have some left, and then we have our one fellow that we couldn't get to locker last year, and he is just, he's a magnificent specimen of a pig. He's a heritage breed, and he's just muscle. This guy is just muscle. He's a beautiful animal. I actually almost regret having to butcher him, but that's really the way that it goes on a farm. We don't get these critters to be our pets, and they're way too expensive to keep like a pet. There's just no way I'm gonna keep a pet pig that eats as much as this guy does. Alright, so we got that done. I believe her recipe called for 1/4 cup of pepperoncini juice. I have 2 cups, so I'm just kind of gonna eyeball it and get some in each jar. Get as close as I can. I actually wish I had some juice on reserve because pepperoncini juice is yummy. Alright, there's that. And then I'm going to add my seasoning blend here. I'll wash my paws a little bit. Some pork on there. I'm going to start with 2 teaspoons. We'll see. I think I might end up with a tablespoon each. We'll find out here. So there's 2 teaspoons. It's definitely going to be flavorful, that's for sure. I'm really looking forward to this. If it tastes anything like it smells, we're in for a real treat. I do hope you guys give this one a try, and feel free to go watch Jenny's video on this too. She's amazing. I wish she was my neighbor. I would like be stopping by her house to taste test anytime she needed somebody. Alright, there we go. I would be a very cheerful taste tester indeed. Alrighty, now I'm going to start putting in the pepperoncinis. I'm going to start with 1, 2. I don't know how many we'll get per jar. Ooh, there was some more juice hiding in there. Alright. I'm just going to shove in as many as I can. Like Jenny pointed out, you know, when you do with Mississippi roast, you generally add butter. But the fact of the matter is, pork is such a fatty, kind of juicy meat as it is. It's not really necessary, and obviously you wouldn't want to can butter anyway. If you wanted to add it, you certainly could when you're warming this up to feed to your family. Ooh, there's some more juice. You could definitely do that. So. Alright, there's 2 jars down. I'll make sure we get plenty of these in here, because they are a big part of what makes Mississippi roast so awesome. This just looks beautiful in the jar so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like when the broth goes in here. You could definitely add more peppers if you wanted to buy more and put them in here. This is just what I had on hand. I had 4 jars, but then we actually had some beef that was real close to not being edible that I kind of forgot about in the fridge. And I wanted to cook it up before it got to that point. And I ended up using one of these jars to make some Mississippi pot roast. So, there's the rest of the juice. And there. I think everybody's had a fair share. I'm going to save these jars. They're the perfect size for my spice blends. So, yum. All right, now it's time for this to go in its bathtub. Just ladling in my hot broth. I got my hot canner all ready to receive these. I do need to remember to add a splash of vinegar to my water because we definitely have hard water here. And the jars will get all white and cloudy and gross. So, always, always, always remember to debubble. You don't want to risk losing even one jar of this beautiful food. And we are bringing this up to the 1-inch headspace mark. Looks like we're just about there with this guy, actually. Just filled up a tad more. And keep on going with all these. And get them running in the canner. Looking forward to this. So here this is, all ready to go into the canner. Look at that, beautiful pork and pepperoncini. You can see the herbs. Oh boy, can't wait to see this one come out. Here they are, fresh out of the canner. They're beautiful. Can't wait to try these. There was a little bit of grease that came up and out of there. You can kind of see it on the jars, but overall, I am so pleased with these. These are going to make beautiful meals. They almost look too pretty to eat. So there you have it, Mississippi pork roast for the larder. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you tomorrow.